Fender launched the Acoustasonic series back in 2019, I think, the concept of a hybrid electric acoustic guitar was almost completely foreign to the guitar world. Yes, Taylor had their own version, which was more of an acoustic guitar that just had an electric pickup fitted in. But truly fusing the two designs of an electric and an acoustic guitar into such a way that blends the feel and playability is something that is completely new. And like most innovations in this world, it took people a little while to catch on. Most people, myself included, took one look at them and just thought that they were some kind of new gimmick. As if the product designers at Fender got bored one day and decided to come up with something completely crazy. But I then sat down and played one and realised I was completely wrong. They're unbelievable. And I was quite shocked when I sat down with one at the quality of the build and the playability and of the tones of the electrics and acoustics that you get on board. In fact, my video on Acoustasonics was one of the first ones I ever did for the channel, back in an era where we were still wearing masks and all the barbers were shut. So feel free to go watch it and laugh at my haircut. Although looking at it, we're not that far away from needing a trim now, to be fair. Anyway, moving on. For the most part, people these days seem to have gotten on board with the concept, especially seeing as the guitars these days are finding their way into the laps of some pretty influential guitarists, such as Nile Rodgers and Lindsey Buckingham, Jack White and Brie Larson. But until the Player Acoustasonic series was introduced, the price of the top-of-the-range, meticulously crafted, American-built Acoustasonics might have been a bit too much of a stretch for some people, perhaps people who weren't quite convinced of the concept just yet. So it was a welcome relief then, about a year ago, when Fender launched this, which is the Acoustasonic Player Tele. It meant guitarists could get their hands on a much more accessible and much more affordable Mexican-made version of the Acoustasonic that has some pretty fair compromises in terms of the sound options, maybe a bit of the build quality, but it allowed people to enter the Acoustasonic biosphere without having to do it right at the very top end. So today, as you can imagine, we're focusing on that series. Now, in the Player series of Acoustasonics, they've released two versions so far, the Telecaster and the Jazzmaster. And if you're aware of the guitars that they've already released in the American Acoustasonic series, you get no prizes for guessing which guitar they're probably going to do in the Player series next. Disclaimer, that was pure speculation. I don't actually know anything about what they're going to release next. Please don't come after me, Fender, if that was a really good guess. So you're watching this video because you want an Acoustasonic, right? Presumably a Player Acoustasonic, because, well, that's what I'm going to put in the title. But which one should you buy? What is the difference between the two, and which, if either, is my favourite? Well, let's find out. So firstly, let's talk about the two individually, starting with the Tele. The Telecaster features the same piezo pickup under the saddle that pretty much every other Acoustasonic has had so far, and it's also got the same noiseless pickup as the American Tele, which just gives you that lovely single coil twang that you'd expect from a Tele. In terms of voices, both Player Acoustasonics have 6, which are controlled by a 3-way pickup selector here, and it also has a tone blend knob that goes between 2 voices on each pickup selection. So on the top setting on the pickup selector, you've got 2 acoustic voices, a smaller body and a bigger bodied acoustic. On the middle pickup selection is the 2 piezo sounds on here. So you have a piezo clean and then this lo-fi piezo crunch sound, which is really cool. And then on the bottom one is the 2 electric sounds. So you've got Fender Electric Clean and then something called Fender Electric Fat, which is just a bit beefier than the cleaner sound. So moving on to the Jazzmaster, it's also got the same piezo pickup under the bridge. However, the one area that this one differs to the Telecaster, obviously other than the shape, is the electric pickup on board. This is an Acoustasonic Shawbucker pickup, which is going to give you a much fatter, warmer tone than the single coil that you get on the Telecaster. There are 6 sounds on board, much like with the Telecaster, but they are slightly different, so let's go through them now. In the middle selection, you've still got the same piezo clean and crunch sounds. However, the acoustics on board are slightly different to give it a little bit of variance to the Telecaster, to give you a bit more of an option if you're picking between the two. We've got 2 acoustic sounds on the top selection. Again, we have a concert size, which is a bit smaller than a Dreadnought and is really good for kind of all-round playing, like finger picking and strumming, things like that. And then the other selection on there, you've got a snappy, bright topped dreadnought. So it's going to be a bit punchier than a standard dreadnought. Really good for strumming, really good for cutting through mixes. Of course, the electric sounds are going to be different on board because we've got a different pickup. So on the bottom selection, we've got 2 electric sounds. Of course, one of the sounds, we've got the Shawbucker clean, so it's a nice warm, fat electric tone. However, when you roll the tone knob onto the second voicing, you actually get a high gain, overdriven electric sound. It sounds really good too. I mean, it gives this even more versatility than it already had, so it's a great addition. So yes, there are some differences between the two, but which is better? Well, let's play them side by side, go through all the different sounds on each one, and you guys can let me know which one you preferred in the comments. Sound good? All right, let's do it. And there we have it. So which do we prefer then? Personally, I'm actually a bit torn. On the one hand, I really love the concert sound on the Jazzmaster, and I'm not really a huge fan of small body acoustics, like the one that you get on the Telecaster. I mean, the other two sounds on each one are pretty good to me, so I'm kind of leaning towards the Jazzmaster in terms of the acoustic sounds, but let's see what else we can find. The piezo sounds are pretty much the same on both of them, but I think the electric sounds are where we're really going to find our difference here. It's so tough to choose. I mean, I really love the sound of a single coil like you get on the Telecaster. I mean, I just love that sort of telly twang that you can get. But then again, the Jazzmaster offers so much more versatility with the high gain option. But I think lastly, on aesthetics alone, I just love the offset shape of the Jazzmaster. So I think my decision is made and my personal winner is the Jazzmaster. Congratulations, mate. But that is just my opinion, and that's not necessarily the right one. It's important to note that this is different horses for different courses. My needs will differ to anyone else's needs on the market, so it's up to you.
It's up to you.
I think the Jazzmaster personally would suit Americana and country players because it's got the really nice fat electric tones on there, as well as the concert body shape, which is a really good all-rounder. And I think the Telecaster maybe would suit singer-songwriters a bit more because it's got the cleaner electric sounds, and then you've got that kind of Ed Sheeran-esque small body guitar sound. But that's just my kind of speculation on it. I'm sure you guys will have different needs for these different guitars. But yeah, that'll do it, I guess. So what do you guys think? Which of these do you prefer and why? Let us know down in the comments. I'd be really interested to hear what you guys have to think. This is a Fender Player Acoustasonic Jazzmaster, and you can win it. We collaborated with Fender to give one of you lucky lot the chance to win this wonderfully versatile and stylish instrument. Known for its innovative way of fusing the worlds of electric and acoustic guitar, the Acoustasonic is becoming something of a modern icon, being used by artists all over the world as a multifunctional alternative to regular, more conventional single-voice guitars. Since the launch of the Player Acoustasonic, this one right here, they've been able to reach even more people, thanks to its more affordable price point, while still retaining a lot of the qualities of their American-made counterparts. If you'd like to win this very stylish shell pink finished guitar, then all you need to do is head to the link in the description, read all the boring T's and C's, and enter for free, and you could be the lucky recipient of your own sonic shape-shifting Fender Acoustasonic. The deadline for entries is the 30th of June, and we'll announce the lucky winner at 5 PM on Monday the 3rd of July. For full terms and conditions, visit the link below. And best of luck, I believe in you. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to see more things like this, and we will see you very soon.